Good morning. Reverend Elizabeth here and Unity Northwest Church. I welcome you. It's fabulous to have you with us today. It's a beautiful, bright, sunny day outside here in Des Plaines and Mount Prospect. And I see that the good mornings are starting to come in. Whatever your week has been like, whenever you are watching this, we are so glad that you're with us, and we welcome you into this space of Unity principles for positive living. That's what Unity is all about, is shifting our thinking into a more positive, creative, conductive place. And I am so grateful that we get to do this every Sunday. So for all of you that are watching live today on Sunday, it's great to have you with us. And all of you who are watching on YouTube or Facebook later down the line, we feel your presence here with us this morning, and it extends past the boundaries of time so that you are all welcome here. As I mentioned, I'm Reverend Elizabeth Mora. I'm the senior minister here at the church, coming to you from my home at the moment. Oh, that's right, I'm gonna get my little flowers showing there. There's my flowers. It was our anniversary this week. Wait, let me put them this way. Forgot to set the scene a little before you. There you go. Now I've got some flowers in the background. And you have decided today to keep a divine appointment. That's what we like to call it here. It's a divine appointment that you are investing in you. There are a lot of things that you could be doing on a Sunday or whenever you are watching this. And by being here today, you are creating the church. The church isn't a building. It isn't me. It isn't this presentation. The church is really you. It's about people coming together to walk their spiritual path today. And the good news is that you get to have a little bit of fun with it. Your divine appointment today takes place in your pajamas, if you should so choose. Welcome to Pajama Church, Church of 2020. And now let's go ahead and open in prayer. I invite you, if it's comfortable, to gently close those eyes and to bring the attention and the focus right here into this moment, gently releasing all that's come this morning and whatever may be happening this afternoon. And for these next few minutes in this day, we are focusing on the presence of God. We are choosing how to direct our attention. We are consciously saying yes to all that is positive, good, beautiful, and true. Because we know that when we do this, we are shifting the energy and we are creating more of the same. And it takes an effort to remember that, which is why we come back and we gather in church. So that if we have gotten into a habit of looking at something other than the presence of God that is present and knowing that is a truth, that we are now shifting. We are shifting back to the truth that the presence of God is the presence of goodness and love everywhere. For this time together to remember this, to strengthen it, and to be able to bring it back out into the world in a more profound way. We are grateful. We are committed. We are connected. And so it is. Amen. A special welcome to those of you who are new with us today. If you are watching us for the first time, or you happen to stumble across a recording of this on our webpage, we say welcome to you. We're glad you're here, and we hope that this feels like home for you. And if you are new to Unity Northwest, you can go ahead and send us an email down there at the email address. All of the links that I mentioned are also up in the description of this video. But if you would like some more information about the church because you're new, or hey, let me know something about it, send us an email at unitynw@yahoo, and we'd be happy to send you a packet. And welcome back to everybody who's been coming all along. We're grateful to have you with us, especially as well. As we get started here, you've already done it, but as always, please feel free, and I encourage you to write something down in the comments. Let us know you're here. Share your name, first name, if you're not comfortable yet. And if you see each other, feel free to say hi back and forth. We try to make it as interactive as possible with the comments since we aren't in person yet. So say hi to everybody, post this video. You can boost it on your page. You can start a watch party. You are the marketing arm of Unity Northwest Church. So feel free to share this with all the folks that are important to you. You don't want to have the monopoly on what's awesome in this world. And when we have music, you get to sing and dance, and you may not be able to hug anybody here, but if you've got someone at home, or if not, give yourself a great old self hug and have a lot of fun with interacting with us today. We encourage that. And keep checking in there. In a moment, we're going to see who's online with us. It's one of the things that we do each week so that we all know that we've been seen and you get to check in with each other. And now let us share the daily word for today. This is our spiritual publication that goes out every 2 months. If you don't have a subscription to the Daily Word, it's a wonderful spiritual tool to keep you uplifted and inspired every day. So we're reading from our Daily Word today, and today is love. Sunday, September 13th, 2020. I open my heart in love. I express the love I feel in my heart by showing my affection and giving nurturing attention. I speak loving, positive words that let those I care about know how much they mean to me. And you could put some of those caring words over in the comments box. As my words affirm their goodness, beauty, and intelligence, I watch those qualities bloom like flowers blessed by sunshine. I extend my arms virtually and embrace my family and friends with the warmth and comfort of unconditional love. I support my loved ones with compassion and care on their journey through life. I share my wisdom as I teach, my experience as I advise, and my understanding as I console. I pray for those I love, knowing that the Christ within them is the light that guides them everywhere they go and in everything they do. I am grateful for my role in my loved one's life. Little children, let us love, not in word or speech, but in truth and in action. 1 John 3:18. We open our hearts in love today, and I open my heart in love to all of you. In whatever way that we can be here to support you, we are here. We are a loving, fun community, and I'm so glad to have all of you online with me today and watching in the future. So let us say a good morning to all of the fabulous folks that are on. Good morning from Rob and Lori. Hello, Isabella, great to have you. We have Jeanette and Joan and Kat. Hello, good morning, joining by phone. Karen, wonderful to have you online. Carolyn, it's a beautiful day. It is. Tanya, hello to all the girls. Evelyn, wonderful to see you. Cynthia, Mark, praying for those who are out of work. Thank you, Mark, for letting us know, and all of us to take that into prayer as well. All of those out of work today, we're holding you in prayer. Good morning, another Jeanette. We like to have two of everything here. The Bostons are in the house. Anne, it was great to see you yesterday. We have Susan, hello. Again, more Cynthias. Anne, again, it is a beautiful morning. Good morning from Sheila to her Unity family, and happy anniversary to me and Arturo. Thank you, Sheila. Appreciate it. It's been a fun week. And Tim, support from Carolyn, friendship, family love. Thank you, Carolyn. And to Ruth and Dallas, happy sunny day from Ruth and Dallas. Hey, everybody. It's so fabulous to see you all here this morning. And who wouldn't want to be part of this community? So keep coming back, everyone. And let's go ahead now into our time of meditation. We had that beautiful silent unity prayer for us about love. And now let's move into meditation time, so important here in our church. I invite you to settle in and to get comfortable once again, like you have already, and to turn your focus within once again for your upliftment. This is your sacred, magical time. To close the outer eyes as comfortable and to move within, noticing the breath first. My breath comes in, my breath goes out. It is a guide for living. Everything coming and going, every moment of the day, so much happening that we don't have to be conscious of. And in this time, I am consciously choosing surrender, peace, and simply breathing. There are no demands on me in this time. Here is where I remember I am perfect, right as I am, and any messages that I am less than, we let those drift away. And whatever may have accumulated during the week, whatever difficulties might have come with other people, with habits, we relegate that into the physical world where it belongs, and now allow the spiritual world to be first. This world of perfection and spiritual ideals, where I am love and loved. Each breath in quiets the mind and the body. Each breath out releases to make room for more good. I breathe in good. I breathe out space. Breathing in, breathing out. I now rest. This is my place of peace and power and strength. This is my place of oneness. No longer any sense of separation or fear. And let me take this with me throughout the days and the weeks ahead, always remembering to come back to this home base that is God, that is the Christ of me, that is the truth. And so it is. A couple of more hellos from folks. It's great. Thank you again for the anniversary wishes. Nice walk in the park. Marilyn is on board. And beloved Tatiana, our pianist, who you are going to hear some new music from next week. We have Tatiana who did a recording session. So Tatiana, that's going to come online next week. Ah. A few years back, Arturo and I took a fantastic vacation to Yellowstone. I have about 1,000 more pictures like this I could show you, but I will spare you that much. And like so many things, really everything in life, this turned out to be a trip of metaphysical lessons. You can find metaphysics and truth everywhere. And I love a good analogy. And everywhere I looked, it seemed in Yellowstone, I found things that I could use as a teaching tool. We like to say in the minister circle, that'll preach. So whatever happens to you in life, that'll preach. And I discovered everything is not as it seems, and Yellowstone is a powerful place to see that happen. This beautiful water here that you just want to dive in, it's so gorgeous, is actually boiling hot acid. It will kill you if you get in it, but it's so beautiful. And that's what it looks like from farther away. Danger, but so beautiful. And then throughout the park, there were so many beautiful statues. Of course, you walk around and you look for the buffalo, and I came across this statue in the middle of the park, just outside of Old Faithful. And I thought it was just the coolest statue. So I decided that I was going to go up and get my picture taken with it. Arturo had the camera ready, and before you knew it, this happened. The statue moved. He had been standing totally still, and I almost went right up next to this huge buffalo. I don't even want to know what would have happened, but I was sure it was a statue. It looked like every other statue that I had seen. So that almost happened, but I escaped. And we continued on with our vacation. And here it looks like I'm just looking at a little bit of rock, but really, again, once again, you can see how the effect on the trees, that the acid of all these pools was making a difference and working underground where you couldn't see what was really happening. And then we took this trip down a river. I don't remember if this was in the Grand Tetons or in Yellowstone. And I became fascinated with these trees. These two trees that were leaning so much over the river. And our guide explained it to us that that is something known as phototropism. A new word for my vocabulary to share at cocktail parties that I don't go to. But my cocktail party for the day, then my word was phototropism. That the trees will bend towards the light. And I know all the gardeners out there know that. I have flowers out on my patio right now, and I keep turning the pots so that they each get a side they get to go towards the light. And as I looked at this picture, this phototropism happening in these trees here, I couldn't help but think about our teachings and how we live human phototropism, that we bend towards the light. That's everything that we teach here in Unity, that as we have positive thoughts, our life will go in that direction. Our life follows our thoughts. And our thoughts follow what we see in the world, but more importantly, what we see in here. And so we get to decide, are we going to bend towards the light or are we going to bend towards the dark? And with our positive thoughts, we do our best to keep coming back to that truth. Essentially, every Sunday in a Unity church anywhere, this is essentially what we're preaching, isn't it? Sometimes I think, how can I find a new way to talk about bending towards the light, that your thoughts make a difference? That's why we have 5 simple principles in Unity, that God is good everywhere present. God is the presence of goodness everywhere. And that same truth about God is the truth of me. It's the truth of you. We condense that down to God is, I am. That's the shorthand for knowing the truth of our magnificence. And then the third one comes in. Our third principle is that our thoughts are impacting our reality. Thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. So over and over again, we say our thoughts matter, our thoughts matter, our thoughts matter. But are we really buying it? Because admit it, aren't there some days where this is really the look on your face when I say that? I don't know about that. It sounds good, but it isn't working in this area of my life, or it isn't working in this area of my life, or I have to work so hard. So what we're going to do now is we're going to work on proving it with this book. Another one of my favorite books, E Squared. This is An Experiment in Spiritual Living by Pam Grout, who is actually from just outside of Kansas City where I used to live, and she used to go to one of the churches that I used to go to. So Pam Grout has this fabulous book that actually went beyond the Unity audience with experiments to prove it, to get that doubting Thomas, I don't know, feeling out of there by proving it to yourself. Jesus proved it. Feeding of the 12,000, raising people from the dead, coming back from the life, over and over again, coming back from death, over and over again. Jesus was saying, use these teachings. Use these teachings. They actually make a difference. Charles and Myrtle, who started our movement, use these teachings. We've healed. We've seen people turn their finances around. They work. So we are going to dive into a set of experiments. Uh-oh, that means you have to do something with this one. You get to put on your mad scientist coat just like me, and you get to follow in the footsteps of Pam here and do something over the next few weeks to prove it to yourself and to strengthen how this works in your life. So it's not just words. Pam shares with us that currently our minds are devoted to things that we do not want. Our positive intentions, they're just a tiny part, but the rest of what we're thinking is about problems and how we will eliminate them. That's what the world calls normal, and it's actually insane. It is actually the opposite of what works. And we are wired that way. So don't feel bad. We are wired that way. They say that about 90 to 95% of our thoughts throughout the day are negative. And I've been at this a long time, and yeah, I think mine are probably still, I don't know, maybe I'm at 89%. But I wake up in the morning and I think about, God, how do we bring our country back together if it ever was? I think about how to keep the church going. Instantly, I'm going to problem solving because that is a revered skill. But it's actually the opposite of what we need to be doing. We need to be focusing on what is working and how to create more of that. We need to be focusing on imagination and how to break out of the ruts that we're in. 95% automatic programming. And then she shared this, which I found to be life-changing. The brain receives 400 billion bits of information per second. Just pause and think about the overwhelming nature of that. How much you can take in. There is an infinite supply of information. But we can only take in 1/2 of 1/1,000,000th of a percent. So what we see and feel and taste and touch is not the real world, but a drastically condensed version of it that our brains literally make up for us. This was a powerful teaching for me, and I hope that it is for you too. Like, there is so much possibility out here, and I'm working with this much. So if I can open up this much, I've really done a miracle. Look at it this way. I put this together a few years ago and have shared it in some sermons and some classes. And some people like me have found it really helpful to visualize what we are talking about, how much more possibility there is. This is about what we operate from, let's just say, and all the bits of information that are out there so that we can comprehend, let's say, these few balloons here. Yep, this is about what I'm working with. And now imagine that you had this many options to work with. Not just this, but you could work with all of this. This is also happening out there. But no, that's not what's happening out there. This is what's happening out here. It's like you're in a room just filled with infinite bubbles, infinite balloons. And if you can get your brain to wrap around that, you're still not there. Take that and then multiply it and multiply it and multiply it. There are this many possibilities. It's like you are in a room filled with an infinite amount of dots, and you are picking out 4 of them. And that's what you're working from. So I use this visual sometimes when I think that I'm stuck on something, and I'm like, but this is all I know. And then I kind of close my eyes and I picture those images, those blue, purple balls, and I see that this entire room is just filled with tiny, tiny dots. And which ones do I want to grasp for? That's the power of the potential that is out there. And that is essentially what Pam Grout is calling the field of potentiality, the FP. That's what we can shorthand call God. That God is beyond anything that we can imagine. And this is the field that we can choose from, the FP. It is here for us. It has always got solutions. It always has something more for us. So we are playing with what's called the FP, the field of potential. This infinite room of dots. And then she says, most of our thoughts that we assume are ours are really invisible and largely unquestioned beliefs that we downloaded from others. 95% controlled by our subconscious that we're not aware of. And there's a reason for that. There is a healthy reason for that, because if we had to take in everything and make a decision on 400 billion bits of information a second, we couldn't survive. We would die. So some things go on automatic pilot, like driving the car sometimes. There are things that we don't have to think about over and over again. I can turn on my TV without barely thinking. So that's the healthy part of it. But when that creeps over and then we believe that everything that goes on automatic pilot is okay and we don't need to question it, well, I'm sick and we don't question it. Or I'm not good at math and we don't question it. That's where our opportunity is. A lot of pre-programming and a lot of negativity. And that's where unity comes in. That's where working with our thoughts, practicing these things, and staying connected to this community and to a teaching is what helps us. That's why Charles said, words are also seeds. When dropped in the invisible spiritual substance, they grow and bring forth after their kind. Thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. They absolutely do. And so our book then is a treasure trove. It is a map, a treasure map. This little book will prove to you once and for all that your thoughts have power and that the FP awaits you to claim it. Use God to change the way you see yourself. Conduct an experiment and become the most joyous, wondrous, tender human being that you possibly can. That's what we're being asked to do in this experiment. And you can do it. I know you can do it because I've done it, taught the book before, have shared it with others, and have had amazing results come from it. I have to tell you, amazing things have happened. You don't believe me? I see you. Some of you out there have the look. Yeah, right. I don't know. Yeah, this feels good. I like doing this, but actually make it work in my life, actually turn something around, do an experiment. Oh, I'm not so sure. That's okay. I'm still with you. And here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I'm going to ask you to be a little bit of an experimenter, or as I like to call it, a mad scientist. I'm going to invite you to play this week and to bring out the mad scientist in you. And I admit, even myself, when I read this the first time, there were a couple of experiments down the line that I thought, I don't know, do I really need to? I mean, I know this works. Oh, but there is something powerful about taking something and specifically working on it. And I really, really, really hope that you will do that and not just go through the motions on this one. So what are we doing? Here is our experiment. The first experiment is called The Dude Abides. Anybody out there remember who the dude was? So the dude abides. The theory that we are going to prove like a scientist is there's an invisible energy field, or the FP, the field of infinite potentials and possibilities. Step one, go get yourself a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil. And I forgot to do that. And so I am going to now role model what this looks like. Go get a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil. And I encourage you not to just say, yeah, I'll do it later. I'm going to give you time. Nothing's going to happen on the screen for the next minute or so. I'm going to go get one. Go get a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen. Paper, pen in hand. Here is your assignment for the week. Whoops, nope. This is our experiment. So please write this down on your piece of paper. And if you've got a journal, you could also put it in there because we're going to have a few over the next few weeks. So this is your E squared, energy squared, experiment number 1. So if you think you'll start it today, put today's date. If not, put tomorrow's date. It's a 48-hour experiment. So it's not a big thing. It's not a long thing, but put down your date. So you're putting a demand on the universe. And then my unexpected blessing is, what we're going to do is ask for a blessing from the universe. Blessings happen all the time. I know that you know that. And now let's actually see how the dots connect. I am going to ask for an unexpected blessing, something that you don't think is going to happen to you. Not a normal thing, but something fun that's going to pop out. My unexpected blessing. Unexpected blessing. And then you write these lines here, and when it happens, you're going to write it in. So this is your lab report. We're really doing this like an experiment because so much that happens in our life happens so quickly and automatically that we don't really catch what happened. So we're sort of slowing things down, and there is a power in writing things on paper. So the mind will quickly say, oh, that didn't really happen, or, oh yeah, that's just a normal thing. No, so when you go back and look at this someday in the future, be like, wow, look at these amazing things that happen when I called for them. There really is a power. And then when you're in one of those droughts where you think nothing is going my way, you can turn back to your notebook and say, no, I remember now that when I can get in the right frame of mind, it does happen. I proved to myself there is a field of infinite possibilities out there. And I'm choosing the dots that I want. Some of you may have done something like this in the past with things in your life. One of the most popular ways that I've seen this is asking for a mate. A lot of the books in the last 20 years have told us, write down what you're looking for. I did it with jobs, and I did do it with Arturo. I will say that when I knew that I was looking for somebody to be a partner in my life, and I didn't think it would end up being a husband, I was just looking for someone fun to hang out with. Boy, did I find that. So yeah, I did a version of this, and my experiment ended up in this, the wrong way. There we go. There we go. It's weird because in my world, the picture's on the other side. So that's what happened when I wrote down the specific things that I was looking for. And it was really about internal qualities. And one of the first things on my list was a spiritual person. And so it did happen, and it can happen. So I'm excited for you to have this written down. and to play this week with your experiment and to see what unexpected blessings are going to come your way. Just get ready to be impressed, and there may be more than one. Charles Fillmore says, all happenings are the result of cause. There is a cause and effect. They can all be explained. This is the teaching that appeals to the innate logic of the mind, yet sometimes we doubt it. We doubt it because we see things that are happening that we don't know exactly how that happened. So maybe that happened magically or for someone else. So take note of how you feel about asking for a blessing. Take note about how you feel about interacting with the dude that is God. How do you feel about that? And that's okay. Notice that. Am I doubtful? Do I have that look on my face? Your feelings will tell you something about where your faith is really at. And so set that aside if there's any doubt. Not forever, just for 48 hours. You can do that for 48 hours. And if I'm wrong, you get to come back next week and tell me nothing special happened for me. Sometimes that does happen, and sometimes there's a delay in it. But for most people, this turns out to be a powerful experiment to prove how powerful you are when you work in alignment with the field of potentials. So yes, doubt your doubts. If that's holding you back at all, let me take that one off your shoulders. Just doubt those doubts. They could be lying to you. And take out your lab report. Have it handy, because for the next couple of days, I think you're going to experience something that you've never experienced before, actually really noticing what's happening in the field. I hope that you have a wonderful experiment, because I know that deep down, you're sitting on a gold mine, folks. And that gold mine is you.
Battery 5. Connected to MacBook Pro. Connected to iPhone 2.
Feel free to dance.
I've had so many doubts along the way. Felt like life was just another bill to pay, without anything to show. But now I've figured out that every day my fortune's always found within my faith. And all I need is to let it flow, 'cause there's no wall around me, only fear has truly bound me. And all I need is trust, and I am free. I'm sitting on a gold mine. Sitting on a gold mine. My treasure has been right here all the time. I'm sitting on a gold mine. All right, yeah. Finally, I'm breaking through so many lies. All those people telling me to run and hide from the truth of what I am. But now I'm telling you the future's bright. Tomorrow shines like diamonds in the sky. And all I needed was to understand that whatever I'm believing, well, that's what I'm receiving from the riches that reside inside of me. I'm sitting on a gold mine. Sitting on a gold mine. I'm sitting on a gold mine. All right, my treasure has been right here all the time. I'm sitting on a gold mine. So don't you listen, ever listen to the voice that says you better play it safe, that says you don't have any choice, 'cause you're as gifted as an angel, as brilliant as the sun. Just say the word and heaven has begun. We're sitting on a gold mine, sitting on a We're sitting on a gold mine. Oh yeah, our treasure has been right here all the time. We're sitting on a gold mine. All right, we're sitting on a gold mine. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're sitting on a gold mine. Oh yeah. Sitting on a gold
Woo! I don't know about you, but I was dancing up a storm. I love that song. Sitting on a Gold Mine, one of my favorites, Daniel Nahmod. And a couple of other hellos from a few folks as we were going through our service. Thanks for the anniversary wishes. The phone works too, that's right. Thanks, good idea that you can also put this stuff on your phone. Sheila's done it, it works. Arturo thinks that he'll marry me still. And my friend Karen was at the wedding and she was there. She remembers how it all worked. So blessings to all of you. And now is the time in our service when if we were sitting in person, a basket would go by you and there would be an opportunity for you to be in the flow of giving and receiving, of releasing your blessings out into the world so that they can make a difference by supporting this church to bring our message out into the world, by being a beacon of light and hope in the world. And since we don't have a basket, what we do have are giving opportunities for you online and also through the mail. We hope that you'll take a moment. Up top is a link to let you know how you can donate either through our webpage right here on Facebook. You can set up online giving and you can send snail mail to us. So we have all these ways that you can give to us, and we are grateful. There are so many of you that have continued to give generously, and there are new folks who have come on and have gone up and hit that donate button, and we are so grateful to you. Thank you for being part of the flow. And if you haven't had a chance to do that yet, if this is the part in the service that just kind of flows by you and you're like, oh yeah, I'll get to that another day, or oh, they don't really need anything from me. What we do know is that what you need for you is an opportunity for generosity. It truly is an opportunity for you. So if perhaps you don't want to give here, although we hope that you will, we encourage you to give somewhere. It's important for you to be in that flow, to let that bid out and to see what will flow back into you. That can be another part of your experiment. And as we all take these love offerings into our consciousness, if not physically in our hands, we have a blessing that we can say over them. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and so it is. And it is so true to be part of that blessing cycle. Continuing to be on Facebook for the foreseeable future until we have an update in the next few weeks or so. We look forward to continuing to see you here and to have you share with us on Facebook during the week. Stay in touch. For those who came by yesterday with donations for the self-help food pantry, thank you so much. It was great to see a few of you come out, and we had a nice donation that we brought to help folks in the Des Plaines area get their food needs met. Metaphysics 4 is starting on Wednesday, so if you're interested, drop me a line. All of you folks who've already taken the first 3, I can't wait to get back with you. We are going deep. And Cindy Georgioulis is having a party. We want to let you know. It's not sponsored by the church, but we are letting you know since there is a nice opportunity if you'd like to get together with church friends. So Saturday, the 26th, up above is a chance to email Cindy. So please do RSVP and let her know that you're interested. We're also looking to see how many people are ready to come out and be together with masks, socially distanced, to see, kind of take the temperature of the community. So it's a nice opportunity for you to see some friends that you've been missing, and that there isn't a chance to do that at church. Well, Cindy, thank you for taking the chance and opening up your backyard for us to be able to do that. If you haven't seen our new webpage, please take a look. Kelby has done a fantastic job redesigning things. So you see on the left what it used to look like, a little older and dated, and now we have lots more pictures and a really beautiful look. So check out our webpage if you haven't seen it in a while. As always, you can continue to donate throughout the week. If you didn't have your credit card with you this morning, or it comes to you later in the week, you can always click the donate button. We have our YouTube videos always available, so just click the YouTube button. And please read your newsletter. We send that out, and it comes with a lot of information. Weekly, we send out an electronic newsletter, and then we do send out a full monthly newsletter once a month. That's out there for you now. Be safe this week. Please continue to wear your mask. It really does matter. It's a sign of love and compassion these days. So continue to be safe and don't let our guards down. We still do have a lot of people, over 1,000 people dying every day from this virus. So please take care of yourself. You're important to us, and we want you to be around. And last but not least, we will see you next week for the results of your experiment and another experiment to get started with. We'll see you on Zoom Fellowship. Again, the link is up above. Stop by and say hi. And we have our prayer chaplains with us. Everyone has a chance to be held in prayer. If you come onto the Zoom line, we will put you in a special room, just you and a prayer chaplain. And as we go forth this week, please remember that this is the truth of you. Whatever messages tell you otherwise, just pop the air out of those balloons and fill up the air in this balloon. Hey, you are fabulous, wonderful, stupendous human being. Don't forget it. You are wonderful and fabulous and stupendous, and whatever words you want to use, keep that affirmation going. Know it about yourself. Have fun with your experiment this week. We'll see you next week, or we'll see you over on Zoom in just a moment. Thank you, and God bless.